What's going on YouTube? Mark Fleetwood here. Welcome back to the Daily Grind Trader. Today I'm going to give a macro price analysis on XRP. I've been following XRP a lot recently, watching the Hinman details, looking at all the documents, looking at the emails, all that stuff. So I decided to do an XRP deep dive analysis. I'm going to make it as quick as possible, so stay tuned. We're going to hop in. All right, everybody, we know the drill. This is just chart analysis. I'm not telling you to do anything. You manage your own money, you manage your own risk. But when I'm looking at on XRP, we're on the daily chart. And again, I want to kind of zoom out a little bit, and this is going to be a little bit of a broader macro sense. When I look at a trend, a downtrend or an uptrend or whatever the case is, like I'm not looking at this peak or the highest high to be where I put my trend line. I typically don't use trend lines all that often, but I feel like it's reasonable in this case to do so, and I'll explain why later. But the highest high, you don't know that there's a downtrend starting off of here. Like you wait until you have a lower low and then a lower high. Like once you have that first real kind of lower high, then you know that you're now moving into a downward trend, and that's where that trend line comes in. So you could run this up and kind of cut off the wicks and stuff, which is fine, whatever works. But that's part of the reason why I don't like using trend lines or diagonal trend lines anyways, because they're so subjective. But regardless, what I'm going to use is I'm going to say here that this low here, this daily low candle here on the 20th of July in 21, with this bullish engulfing candle on the 21st, and a massive shoot up, this was a bullish order block. This was 100% a bullish order block. And you can see the price went up over 160%. I believe it was 160. Let's see it here. It went up 160% in 25 days. So that's an order block. That's a massive amounts of big orders pushing the price up. In the same sense, not long after that, on September 6th, 21, there was a bearish order block, and that bearish order block pushed the price down 19% in a single day. It came down, came back up, wicked back into the order block, and then the subsequent selling orders that were still left in that block pushed the price down even further. We retested the bullish order block one more time here in January of 22, had a little bit of a bump off of it, set a new resistance level here, and then the price went through that order block in May of 22. Now, the idea behind order blocks, bullish or bearish, whatever way you make the order block, is that it can only be hit so many times. This order block, all these orders got filled so fast that there's no way all of the orders got filled. There was orders left. And you come down to that area and those buy orders were still there. The buy orders popped the price back up off of that area, and buy orders pushed price back up. This time, there weren't enough buy orders left in that area to send the price back off of it, and the price fell through. So that then switched, and you might be able to call and say this is a breaker block now, or it just switched from support to resistance. So now it's a selling block. This is an area for sellers, and this is between 56 and 51 cents. So look at the current action of the price off of it. We know we hit a low here after going through the order block, hit a low at about 28 cents, retested that block, came down, made a new low at just about 30 cents, tested the block again, a new low around 41, tested the block again, a new low around 45. So they're making higher lows now, and what that is telling me is that each time this block gets hit, the amount of selling pressure is softening. It's still there because we haven't been able to push through it yet, but this block as a resistance is starting to soften. It's going to get broken through, I believe, and I don't think it's going to last very long at all. And again, with the trend line coming down, it looks as though prices passed through the trend line, hit that order block again, came down, find a new higher level of support, and will likely push back up again. I don't know if this will handle one, maybe two more tests before it gets blown up. And then once that happens, I mean, there's some small areas of resistance. You know, there could be some resistance here around 67 cents. I'll just draw this in real quick. But the next real big resistance is going to be up here where you double tapped this high after the last touch and hold of this bullish order. You're looking at about 90 to 91 cents as a potential like significant resistance there. Now again, that's a hell of a move and it would take a while, but 67 cents would be a resistance here potentially, but I don't know if it'd be that strong. Actually, let's go 69. Let's bring this up to 69. So we've had it touch here, 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 here. So 69, 70 cents would be a potential resistance, but the big one I think is going to be here at 90 cents. Now, some clarity, a judgment, anything from the courts, anything that happens could be a catalyst for this. But a lot of times the news simply is a smokescreen for what price action is already in the works. This price action has already been going on, and you can also make the case for for this to be a big symmetrical or a big ascending triangle starting. And I don't typically use chart patterns like this anymore, but you can make the case that since it's hit this a couple of times, each low has been a higher low, and you're making a higher level of support on the same level of resistance, and therefore you're making an ascending channel or an ascending triangle that should break to the upside. But again, I don't really use triangles that much anymore. I'm looking more support resistance, order blocks, bearish and bullish order blocks, stuff like that. Fair value gaps is what I'm looking at. And this block, I think, is ready to go. And again, if it tested here today, and if the daily low at 48 is the lowest that it gets and it doesn't make a retest of 45 or anything along those lines, then again, we have yet another test with a softer push down. And that, I believe, will then break out of that area and at least get up to 69 cents. And I'm thinking more along the lines of the 90 cent range. So guys, that's it. That's what I got for XRP today. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, until next time, peace.